this is a little bit older, but I'm reading this report right now. It's a little bit older, but there has been mention of De'Aaron Fox as a possibility for the Lakers. It's come up with the Heat. It's come up with the Spurs. I don't think it's going to go away until the Kings really start winning, or you start getting more vibes from De'Aaron Fox that he wants to stay. He's got one more year after this season under contract. He already turned down the opportunity to sign an extension. What I think is really interesting, though, about the let's just say there's a 5% chance, a 10% chance that the Lakers could actually convince the Kings to trade their star to the Lakers.
Doesn't really make much sense.
Were it to happen, though, it would require a lot from the Lakers just so the Kings could sell that to their fan base.
You'd have to get rid of how much stuff. Like, you definitely have to get rid. You have to make the math work. The math work.
He makes about 35, I think, or so.
Somewhere around there, 36, like somewhere around there. But so to make that work, now with D'Lo gone, you don't have anybody that makes over 17. I think
Rui's about 17 to 18.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I think like even Austin Reeves makes 12 to 13.
Okay, that's the big question. If the Kings would be willing to make that type of deal. Reeves is going to be someone they're going to be asking about. Dalton Connect is going to be somebody they're asking about. Both firsts are mandatory. It gets to that question of, if you're the Lakers, how much are you truly willing to invest in LeBron and AD right now, this core? Because we've reached a place where if you're going to have LeBron at 40, you're going to have Anthony Davis in the back end of his career. I mean, back end of his prime. Right. I think people sometimes forget.
31, 32.
Yeah, he's 31 right now. Like, I think we get so focused on LeBron because he's LeBron and all the focus on him being 40. Anthony Davis is the guy that's actually still in his prime and the guy that you should be looking to maximize even more than LeBron. We've reached a place where the Lakers, if they're not willing to tangibly commit up to a certain point with those two, it makes no sense to have them unless you're just trying to sell tickets and be, finger quotes, relevant.
Right. So when you say it makes no sense to have them, I mean, so you're saying, are you advocating to move things around to get more people to fit this team specifically? Like you want that third star.
I'm not even saying that you need to have a third star. I'm not even advocating one direction or the other. What I'm advocating for is a direction. What I'm saying is you cannot kick the can down the road any further waiting for the next opportunity or next offseason. We have 3 first-round picks or 4 or the next opportunity that can come along. I was patient with them in terms of moving Russ, like trading him when it was clear it wasn't going to work.
Yeah,
I was like,
work.
No, it did not. But I was patient with the idea of just first opportunity. No, like you don't fix something bad by potentially making it worse. Like the deal needs to make sense. I'm not one of those people like Sedano who talks all the time about when you have LeBron, you're always in the all-in business.
We're out of the maximization of LeBron time.
Sure. But at some point, though, what you're doing needs to make sense just in terms of a tangible direction. And having LeBron at 40, having Anthony Davis at 31, if you're not willing to really invest in it, again, unless your goal is just to be finger quotes relevant and make sure people come to games, it doesn't make sense. So there is a bit of a pick a lane right now that I think a rumor like De'Aaron Fox represents.
Sure. It makes sense. I mean, would you think that last year they were relevant enough that they could have made a run in the playoffs if they didn't play, let's say, Denver when they lost in
Possibly.
5? They could have made a little
Possibly.
bit of a run. Do you feel like as this team is built right now with having more defense and DFS and Shake Milton off the bench, whether or not he gets a lot of playing time when Gabe's back or not, that's remained to be seen. Do you think that this team could actually make some sort of a run? Because from everything that I've talked about with a bunch of different people, yes, they're Lakers employees, but I'm not going to say who, John Ireland, Mike Trudell. But if you look at what the West looks like,
according to all my unbiased sources, none of whom are paid by the Lakers.
I mean, it makes a little bit of sense. This West, how it is built, it can be had. Like it's there's no purely dominant team outside of OKC, and OKC is still young, and you kind of feel like the Lakers kind of match up well against them in some senses. They have historically, right? Memphis is back up and playing well. They always play well against Memphis. So there's most of the teams in the West.
Hurt again.
So if this team is not this team seems like one that you can kind of make a little bit of a run with, just based on how the whole West is shaking out. So this move of DFS and Shake Milton, to me, makes it seem like, okay, they are thinking about the future. They are thinking, not trying to maximize LeBron, but maybe maximize Anthony Davis.
Well, DFS, though, has a player option for next year. Right. So
you don't know what's going to happen.
For the time being, it's more in DFS's control. And he's 31. So to me, he's more of a win now move, not a down the road move. Like even if he ended up on the team for another couple years, he's still not somebody that is part of a big picture vision.
No, but I think that if you hold on to him and you do re-sign him to a decent amount of money, you have a 3-and-D wing for another couple of years.
Right, but that's not the way I see the Lakers right now. If you ask me, is it possible that they could win a couple rounds in the playoffs? I'd say sure. If you're asking me if it's probable, I'd say no.
No, I mean, we can get into this and that, but the main question was like, what is the plan moving forward? To me, it seems like there is almost a clear plan. I don't think like the De'Aaron Fox thing sounds great in theory. You would have to give up way too much to go get him. You'd have to, and also Sacramento, they'd have to be willing to trade.
I think
you're moving Austin Reeves, you're moving Rui, you're moving Dalton Connect, you're moving like your other.
I think it would be optically so difficult for the Kings to sell that trade to their fans unless they get just the mother load in return.
Yeah,
and so it's clear if De'Aaron Fox really went on the market, I don't know if the Lakers have enough that they could outbid some other teams.
Right.
But for the Lakers to manage to convince the Kings to do this, it's going to require giving up a lot. And what I think is interesting about that is something like, let's just say Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is the third best player on this team right now. Mm-hmm. I think Austin Reeves is a good player. De'Aaron Fox is better than him.
Yeah,
De'Aaron Fox is a better player than Austin Reeves. So let's just say that you can move. You'd need Rui to make the money work. So you move Rui, Austin, the picks, and nobody else of real significance. You get to keep Dalton Connect. You
JHS, Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Right.
Or someone along those
lines.
Right.
You're moving Christian Wood. Like you're moving
to make the money work.
Right, to make the money work. And the picks. But you get to keep Max Christie. You get to keep Dalton Connect. That's one, but you have to give up Reeves. The Lakers have been very, very protective of keeping Austin Reeves. I think they like his contract value. I think they like the story of Austin Reeves and being attached to him. It's a success story for the Lakers.
Sure.
But he's not as good as the other guy that we're talking about. And that's what I think is going to be really interesting. Like the idea of, okay, let's flip it. Let's say you give up Christie and Connect and the picks and whatever else is required, but you keep Austin. Like, how much are you willing to do if you're the Lakers trying to invest in LeBron and AD now at this stage of their respective careers?
I mean, I just think that if you look at this team now, I actually kind of like the little bit of a core that they're starting to build right now. Outside of LeBron and AD, you still have a little, like you can look at Dalton Connect and be like, okay, this guy's going to be good.
I agree.
He gets to the basket. He's a great 3-point shooter. He's a little bit off right now. He's going kind of up and down. He's a rookie. That's going to happen.
I like him.
I really like Max Christie. What he's doing on the defensive end is absolutely
Christie
phenomenal.
Is looking over the last few weeks, ever since he got moved in the starting lineup, he's looking like the guy that the Lakers envisioned when they paid him.
Right. So they're starting to build an actual core that could still be good whether or not LeBron is here or not in the coming years. You won't have that 2-star set, but Austin Reeves, he's starting to show that he's getting close to hitting some triple-doubles on a nightly basis. I think he was only 1 rebound shy of a triple-double on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. They have. There seems to be a clear path.
Side note, were you watching the game on
Yes,
New Year?
of course.
It's like the last 20 or so seconds, it's Cleveland could have been their last possession. And so it's clear. The game's out of hand. The Lakers cannot win at this point. It's done. Austin Reeves went so hard. Cleveland missed a shot. He went so hard after that 10th rebound. He actually knocked it away from Anthony Davis.
It's like, mine.
And Cleveland ended up retaining it. Again, it did not matter at all.
Just wanted that triple-double.
I don't blame him. It would have been 2 in a row. Triple-doubles are hard to get. It was so transparently obvious.
Look, some of those assists, how would you call them assists in general?
Assist adjacent.
Assist adjacent. There was one that he passed it to Anthony Davis at the top of the three-point line. Anthony Davis made a move and made it to the basket and scored. He got an assist for that because he was the last person to touch it. But that was Anthony Davis doing all of the work.
He assisted AD in the sense that he gave him the ball.
Right.
It's like the way I used to say Kobe used to define playing off ball every single second that he didn't have the ball. Like even when he was reposting specifically to get the ball back, in that moment in Kobe's mind, he was playing off ball.
Right.
Like that was an assist for Austin.
Right. Either way, Austin still is starting to put up good numbers. Obviously, he's not ready yet to have this at the major level. He's going to get there soon. Like I said earlier, the turnover numbers are down. He does still drive into nowhere. There's things that need to be shored up, but it's starting to. I see an actual core here outside of LeBron. So to maximize the whole maximizing LeBron thing, I don't think that's in play, and I don't think that's what Rob's doing now. It seems to be like this DFS Shake Milton move really shows me that it's going to be a little bit different this year. I don't think they're going to just give away the draft picks for someone stupid. They're not going to go do that for Zach LaVine, like we said earlier, or Zion Williamson or something like that. It seems like they're going to try and make the right moves for this team moving forward and for JJ Redick moving forward.
Speaking of right decisions moving